Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying the event so far. Welcome to the LinkedIn Masterclass of the What's Your Next Move event. A really exciting day filled with lots of valuable workshops for you to attend. So firstly, just to introduce myself, my name's Chelsea James and I am the Employer Liaison Officer within the team for Interwork Advice Service, and that's within Cardiff Council. Just to give you a little bit of an insight into what I do within my job, firstly, I'm responsible for identifying and building relationships with organisations, partners and employers across Cardiff. And that involves sourcing employment, education and training opportunities to promote within the Interwork Advice Service. So throughout my masterclass this morning, I'm going to be telling you about LinkedIn, how to use the platform and all the information that you need to know how to get started on LinkedIn today and start to be active on there and building your LinkedIn community. Okay, so firstly then, what is LinkedIn? For those of you that don't know about LinkedIn already, it is the world's largest professional network on the internet. It's essentially a platform for anyone who's looking to advance their career. And there's lots of ways that you can use LinkedIn and really leverage it, whether that's to find a part-time or full-time job, an apprenticeship, an internship, any work experience and volunteering opportunities as well. So you can connect with anyone on there really by searching for their name and visiting their profile. It's a bit like Facebook, but it's a lot more professional on LinkedIn. So this means that you can send them an invitation to connect, and you can make that really personalized as well. So it could be that you kind of introduce yourself within your message and why you're looking to connect with them. And from that, then you'll be able to strengthen your professional relationships, access people's profiles and information, whether that's posts or updates that they share themselves. And you'll be able to learn about the skills that you need to succeed in your career and your future, really. So by completing a LinkedIn profile and setting up on there, it can help you connect with opportunities. And later on in the presentation, I'll talk about how you can showcase your experience, your skills and your education background to really stand out on there on the platform. LinkedIn is a great way, again, similar to Facebook, where you can join groups. So that might be, for example, jobs in Wales or jobs in Cardiff, and you can search for the groups on there. There's thousands on there. So yeah, you can have a look on there. And it's just a great way of getting your name out there and connecting with prospective employers, just building your network, really. So those of you that have already heard about LinkedIn, and you've got an account, that's great. You're already one step ahead. Okay, so how can you get started on LinkedIn? Well, firstly, you just need to sign up, and it's a simple sign up process. And just make sure something that's really important is that you are using a professional and appropriate email address as well. That's really key and important. And make sure that your LinkedIn profile picture is appropriate as well. A headshot is always your best option, and make sure that obviously it's showcasing quite a professional look, not anything that you'd put on your Facebook. Just remember that obviously prospective employers are looking at this and reviewing it. So make sure that you create your profile fully and take your time to really fill out all the relevant fields properly. So don't rush through it. Just really kind of take your time to think about it in detail as well, and think how can you really make the most of it and maximise that. Remember, you are showcasing who you are to prospective employers. So a great way is to just start building your network on there. So you can start by even just adding your family on there and sending them invitations to connect, friends as well. Just obviously ensuring that it is professional at all times, and it could be that sort of throughout your career journey you will connect with new people, but you also may stay connected with past colleagues or co-workers, and again, as I've mentioned, just make sure that all connections are professional and appropriate for LinkedIn purposes as well. One of the really key features on LinkedIn is following companies and organisations that you're interested in. So maybe sort of throughout the next upcoming months, start to think about maybe prospective employers that you are naturally kind of interested in, whether that's key leading retailers, whether you're looking to get into retail, for example, for your first job. So make a list of all of the employers that appeal to you and start searching for them on there as well, and start connecting with people who are really important within those businesses, and I'll talk about this later on as well, but you know, you've got access to people who could be hiring managers, people who are shortlisting for those job opportunities that you're finding. So you know, you've got them at your fingertips, and it's really important that you do leverage on that as well. So you may already know this, but for those of you that don't, LinkedIn has actually got its own job board, and it's something that I use on a daily basis within my own role to identify jobs that are available in Cardiff. So there's filters that you can filter down, for example, location. So if those of you don't have access to transport and have to get there by walking or by bike, you could literally filter it down to a radius of 10 miles or 5 miles for those of you that are walking. I know that's quite a long way, but yeah, you can reduce it and make that applicable to your own circumstances. And that's a really good way of identifying nearby opportunities to you. As I've mentioned as well, what's even better, you can see the profile of who's advertising the job. So be brave and be bold. Just if you don't ask, you don't get. So connect with them and show your interest. And believe me, you will stand out to other candidates. And I'm going to show you an example in a few slides time of how you can take the time to personalise and really make an effective invitation to those hiring managers and key people within those organisations that you really should be targeting. Okay, so you can easily participate in conversations on LinkedIn as well. So, for example, looking at maybe updates that have been made or posts, and that's a great way of standing out. So, for example, if there was a post to say that they're currently recruiting for a customer service representative, you could leave a comment on that post and say, actually, just to introduce myself, I am, and then I'm a student, or I'm leaving education. This is my current circumstances. I'd be really keen to talk with you. This is my contact details. Obviously, you may not put that on the post, but you could say, I would appreciate if you could get in touch with me directly via LinkedIn, and I would love to have a conversation with you about this opportunity. So you can create your own or join existing LinkedIn groups, as I've mentioned in the previous slides, and that is a really good way, a valuable way of connecting and networking with those. And it could be people who you share interests with. For example, if you are particularly interested in coding or any IT specific niches, that's an amazing way of networking with people who are already within those sectors and also share those interests with you. And obviously the world is your oyster with that. Everyone's got different interests. So whether it's fitness or fashion or anything like that, it's just thinking about, take the time to think about what your key interests are and start to think about how you can really utilize those groups to start building a community that is tailored around you and your personal interests as well. Okay, so I thought it would be valuable to show you my own LinkedIn profile, and for those of you that do go away from the workshop and do decide to obviously reap the benefits of having a LinkedIn profile, please feel free to send me a connection request. I would love to have you guys on there, and it would be great to keep in touch with you. And again, if I can assist in any way, feel free to send me a connection request, and I would love to have a chat with you over LinkedIn. So I thought it would be great to show you how to kind of set up your profile, and I just wanted to focus on the about section, as you can see there. So this is where you can elaborate on your skills and your experience and showcase what you have to offer to prospective employers. So again, as I mentioned, really take the time to think about what you could potentially offer and use this as an opportunity to really promote yourself. Ultimately, no one is going to shout out about yourself other than you. So yeah, I can't express enough, guys, how key this is. So sell yourself to those who are visiting your profile. So as you can see here, I've got information about my skill set, really, my background, what I can do to help people, and it just gives an opportunity for people to learn about me. I like to think that my profile picture is professional, and it's showing me smiling as well, which is really nice, and it kind of shows people a little bit of my personality in there as well. I like to think that I am quite a happy, bubbly person. Okay, so moving on then and talking about how to use LinkedIn to get a job, and I'm sure you guys are really keen to know all about this and get to work at that as soon as possible. So as I've mentioned before, obviously to make sure that you firstly set up a professional profile, and then recapping there on why it's important to have an appropriate and professional looking profile picture too. One thing, a really good tip that I always recommend to people who ask me about LinkedIn is to make sure that your profile corresponds with your most recent CV. So we all know the importance of having a fully up-to-date CV when you're applying for opportunities and putting yourself forward for opportunities. So a really good way of kind of making sure that is it reflects your CV in your LinkedIn profile is just have a look at your CV and then have a look at the sections of a LinkedIn profile and just make sure that the information in there is the same. Okay, so write a great headline on your profile. So this is, again, something that's really effective for people who are looking at your LinkedIn profiles. So for example, if, as I mentioned, you may be a student that's leaving education or you're staying in education, but you could have in there as your headline, GCSE students seeking part-time or full-time job opportunities. And those who are visiting your profile, that acts as as an opportunity for them to know about your current circumstances, and that may increase the amount of people that you have actually coming directly to you rather than you looking for jobs and going to them. So that's a really effective way of almost not doing any work yourself. You're reaping the rewards for that later down the line when people discover you. So you can also, there's a function on LinkedIn where you can set your profile to recruiters and hiring managers to let them know that you're actively seeking job opportunities and that you're open to new opportunities. So that for them, when they're making searches on LinkedIn, that will act as a flag, and they might even get in touch with you on the back of that as well. Something that I think is really important on a LinkedIn profile, and that helps kind of when you're supporting your applications to jobs, is write about your work experience in terms of your results or accomplishments. So for example, when I was in school, I was heavily involved with the netball team and I was captain for netball team. So what I would put on there and what I've got on my CV is talking about that. That's such valuable experience to employers. That's not necessarily about work experience, but it showcases who you are as a person, your interests, and also the key skills that were a part of that. So in sports, you've got to have really good communication skills. You've got to have team working skills. You've got to be able to think on your feet. All of these skills, which you probably wouldn't think about, but they're all valuable to showcase. And something as well that's key to have on your profile is you can get recommendations from credible sources. So this might be your tutors or your teachers at school. It might be someone, the organisation that you may have done work experience with. And that is an opportunity for people to essentially talk about you and praise you, and have everyone who visits your profile see that. So for example, an employer could say, Chelsea did a week's work placement with us, and I was so impressed with her performance throughout. She had good time management skills. She became a part of the team, and she was great to have around. And we were so grateful that she actually had her work experience with us. Ultimately, this is for employers, the types of things that they want to be seeing about prospective candidates and about people who may potentially join their organisations. So I would definitely ask everyone you can think of for credible recommendations to go onto your profile. And just to mention as well about the volunteering and any community involvement, employers absolutely love hearing about any charity work that you've done, or again, activities that go above and beyond, that are extracurricular, that you invest your own personal time and effort in. And as I've mentioned, it's really important to start speaking to those who are working at the companies that you'd love to work for. They are at your fingertips, guys, so make sure that you are, contacting them daily if possible, if you've got the time to do that. And believe me, you will see some return for doing that. Okay, so I'm just conscious of time because I'm probably elaborating on too much, but I just want to make sure that I am obviously giving you so much valuable information here in this workshop. So I thought it would be useful for you to see an example of how you can search for jobs, and the search function is completely free, so you don't have to, you can get different profile types of LinkedIn, but for what you'll be using it for, you really don't need anything more than just the free version. As I've mentioned earlier, you can filter down from location, job title. There is so many filters, so just have a play around with that when you get the chance. So in the example, I've just searched for customer service in Cardiff, and I've filtered it down to part-time. So there's 48 job results that have come from that. And it just goes to show the amount of opportunities on LinkedIn. So you can see here that it's brought up a retail assistant, part-time contract for 8 hours. And it's got a great function where you just click apply, and that can be that can take you through to the organisation's career page, where you can apply and go through the normal their normal recruitment process. And you can also click you can also share your LinkedIn profile with the recruitment manager or whoever's responsible for shortlisting for that position. And that's an opportunity where they can have a look at your profile, and that may make you stand out from other candidates who have applied. So again, I can't emphasize enough just how important it is to make sure that you're using all of these functions that don't cost you anything other than just committing yourself to a little bit more extra work, which you will, again, reap the rewards later down the line when you're applying for jobs. And I came across this picture, which I thought was great, a GIF. When you use LinkedIn Easy Apply and never need a cover letter again. We all know how long it takes us to draft a cover letter, and they are really important, but with LinkedIn Easy Apply, sometimes not every organisation requests a cover letter from you. So yeah, it was a great one. I thought it would be quite humorous to put that on there for you guys. Okay, so I wanted to show you an example of how to contact prospective employers, and I wrote one out for you guys just to kind of show you what I mean by that. So I did this example with Victoria Poole, who's our business engagement advisor, part of the Cardiff Commitment team. And although she's not advertising for a part-time job, I just wanted to show you guys how it works. So I won't read out word for word, but you can see here that I've taken the time to think about what I want to say to Victoria. Firstly, most important thing is that you've seen the job advertised on LinkedIn, or it could be that you've seen the job advertised on their careers page and you've taken the time to go onto LinkedIn and search for the business and search for their positions within the business. For example, recruitment consultant or recruitment manager. These are all the really good ways of identifying decision makers within organisations. So it's just about making yourself stand out. So you wanted to take the time, take the opportunity to contact directly. Again, many candidates wouldn't have done that. So you're already ticking boxes of the prospective employers and what they want to be seeing, the commitment levels, the type of person you are, you're proactive, you're committed. So and it's just an opportunity for you to explain your current situation and your circumstances. So you're a recent school leaver, or you're going into university, but you're just eager to secure your first job where you can gain, you know, a wealth of skills and develop your skill set, your experience, and just learn. This is the beginning of a really exciting time for you guys. This is the start of your career journey. So it's just making sure that you are essentially telling them all of the things that they want to hear. And again, you're just standing out against people who are also applying for jobs and that you're up against, essentially. So it's a chance for you again to showcase your key strengths and what value you would bring to them. So I hope that's given you a really good idea of an idea of a really effective personalized message. And again, I can't stress enough, make sure you take that time to really tailor it and think about what you want to say. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly run through how do employers use it. So employers will check LinkedIn profiles a lot, and that's why it's important you make sure that your profile is professional and it's fully up to date. And that's some stats there about how much they use it. So I know I'm running over here, guys, so I'm just going to run through this last slide quite quickly. There are lots of training and free learning resources that are available for you to learn about LinkedIn. So I've just put 3 things down there for you to kind of have a look at in your own time. But the best way to learn is just start by creating a profile and start having a play around with the platform. It's super easy to use, really user friendly, and as I've mentioned before, it's very similar to Facebook, but it's just a much more professional platform. You can find YouTube videos to help you learn about LinkedIn, and it's also got its own free support and learning center, which has got all the information that you could need to know on there. Okay, so just to let you know that the presentation is available in Welsh, as I've attached it in the chat function for those of you that may require that. I know I've run over, so apologies there, but should you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. But just to let you know, my email address is Chelsea, that's CHELSIE.james@cardiff.gov.uk. I will also pop that in the chat function for you. So if you are heading off to another workshop now and you don't want to miss out on that because I've run over, because I've waffled too much, yeah, just feel free to send me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I will take a look at the live Q&A though, for those of you that may have put some questions in there, but if not, if you've got to head off to another workshop, again, just feel free to drop me an email. I hope that you guys have found the LinkedIn Masterclass really useful and you've taken away a lot of value from it. And I hope that it helps you now moving forward with your next move. It's a super exciting time for you guys, so good luck. Okay, I'm going to end the event now. So thank you so much for each and every one of you that have joined. Really appreciate that, guys, and I look forward to welcoming any questions you might have. Thanks. Bye-bye.